Hey guys, today we will talk about systems. Is Bitcoin mining style profitable? Bitcoin mining is a process of earning bitcoins in exchange for running the verification process the validate Bitcoin transaction. This transaction provide security for the Bitcoin network, which in turn compensates miners by giving them Bitcoin. Miners can profit in the price of Bitcoins exceed the cost to mine them. There are then changes in mining device, in technology, in the creating of professional mining centers with enormous computing power is well as the shifting price of Bitcoin itself. He's shifting the incentive and land space escape for mining. Many individual miners now ask themselves in Bitcoin mining still profitable. There are several factors that determine whether Bitcoin mining is a profitable venture. This include the cost of electricity to power the mining chain, the availability and price in machines and mining difficult. Difficult is measured in the hashes per second of the Bitcoin validated transaction. The hashes are measure the rate of solving the problem. The difficult changes as more miners enter because the network is distinct. The produce a current number of bitcoins every 10 minutes. When more miners entered the market, the difficult increase to ensure that the number of Bitcoin produced remains the same. The last factor for determining profitability is the price of Bitcoin compared to the of standard hard currency. The components of Bitcoin's mining. Prior to the advent of new Bitcoin mining software in 2014, mining was generally carried out on personal computers, but the introduction of application-specific interage secured chips worth of 100 billion times the capability of older personal machines, rendering the use of personal computing to mine bitcoins in inefficient and obsolete. Funk Bitcoin mining is still there scale possible with older hardware there as little question that it is not a profitable venture. This is because of the way that mining is set up. Miners are competing to slow hash problem as quickly as possible to those miners at the serious combinational disadvantage. Essential stand to change of solving a problem first and begin bank revalidate which bitcoins. When miners use it to manage the difficult in mining bitcoins for locally in line with the price of bitcoin, but with this new match can either related to both to Higgs goes to brain and run the nerves equipment tray look lack of evil bite. Profitability before and after ASIC. old timers say we back in 2009 mining bitcoins using just their personal computers were able to make a profit over several, whereas on which the miners already of need their systems, the equipment cost were electrically nil. They could change in settings of their computers to run more efficiently with the less stress. Second, there were the days before professionals. Bitcoin mining central with massive computing power entered the game. Early miners only had to compete with the other individual miners on home computer system. The competition was on a way voting even when electricity cost were based on geography. Regions difference is not aiming to deter individuals from mining. After ASIC came into play, to game changed individuals were new competing against powerful mining rigs that had more computing power. Mining profits were getting chipped away by expense like purchasing new computing equipment, paying higher energy costs for running to new equipment, and the continued difficulty of mining. Difficulty of mining Bitcoin is discussed about to difficulty rated associated with mining Bitcoin is variable and changes weekly every 2 weeks in order to maintain a stable production of variable blocks for the blockchain, and in turn Bitcoins introduced into Cursor. The higher to difficulty rate, the less likely it is that individual miner can successfully solve his problem and earn bitcoins. In recent years, the mining difficulty has skyrocketed. When Bitcoin was first launched, the difficulty was one is in November 2021 is a more to 22 trillion. This provides an idea of just new how many times more difficult it is to mine for Bitcoin. News in was a day ago. Stephen rates the Bitcoin network will be capped of 21 millions total Bitcoins. This has been a key stipulated on the entire ecosystem since it's founded, and the limit is in place to attempt to control the supply of the cryptocurrency. Currently, over 18 million bitcoins have been mined. It's a way of controlling the introduction of new bitcoins into controlled, and the network protocol halves the number of bitcoins available to mirrors miners for successful completing a book about every 4 years. In Italy, the number of bitcoins a miner record was 15 in 2011. The numbers halved and the rare Bitcoin became 25 in 2016 and halved again to 11, and in May 2020 the arrived halved once again to 16, they can't revert. Perspective of miners should be ever that the reward size will continue the decrease in the future, even as the difficulty is level on in race.